Mustard seed is a very small seed, very tiny seed, but when put into the ground, it grows into a very big shrub and eventually a tree under which the birds of the air come to make their houses or their nests. And he compares this image of the mustard seed to the kingdom of God. He says the kingdom of God is like that seed, that mustard seed. What exactly is he referring to? This kingdom of God, in fact, is the presence of the church here on earth. It is planted on earth to be a shrub and eventually a tree, under which everybody, regardless of color, race, or tribe, or political affiliation, or whatever else, regardless of all that, under which everybody can come and make their nests. This kingdom of God is not a physical space. It is not the structure. Even before we talk about the structure, it is what has been planted into our hearts. The ground in which the mustard seed is sown is our heart. It's not anything else. So when you talk about the kingdom of God as the church, we're talking about something that has been planted into our hearts. And it is from our hearts that this is expected to grow before it is physically manifested in terms of the structure, the church. We know that usually before the physical structure of the church is built, there is a community of Christians meeting in that place. Maybe they are meeting under a tree. Maybe they've been meeting at somebody's house, or they've been meeting under a tent. There's a community that is growing. And when this community has grown bigger and bigger, then the issue of building a physical structure comes in to say, okay, now that we are a big community, we can call ourselves a church, or we can call ourselves a parish. Why can't we contribute monies so that now we build a physical structure? But first, there is a community. First, there is the spiritual church that is growing in that community before that manifestation of the physical structure comes in. So when we're talking about the kingdom of God, we're talking about something that God has put in the hearts of the Christians, the hearts of those people, those individuals that are meeting in that place as a church, as a community. And when God puts this seed in our hearts, in our life as a community, He wants it to grow. He wants it to be a space where everybody is going to feel a sense of belonging. Sometimes what the church becomes is not what God intended, whereby we begin to decide ourselves who should belong to that church and who shouldn't, who should attend that mass and who shouldn't. We begin to decide, to make such decisions. We forget that ultimately the church belongs to God. The church belongs to Christ because He is the foundation. But then, since we are in a position of leadership, we begin to feel we are, we can make such decisions. But as we make those decisions, are we helping the church to grow, or we are actually killing it? The mustard seed has to have the nutrients that it needs for it to grow. The nutrients that this mustard seed will have, in this case, will be the warm-heartedness of those that are already in that community. When we express a heart that welcomes everybody, those are the nutrients that we are putting into the ground that would help that mustard seed to grow into a shrub and eventually a big tree, where everybody, every bird will come and nest there. It will not just house a specific breed of birds. It will house all kinds of birds, because that is the nature of, or that should be the nature of the tree that has grown out of that mustard seed. That tree is the church, and it is meant to house all kinds of people. All kinds of people. Doesn't matter who you are. The doors have to be open to everybody. That is the intention of God. That is the intention of Jesus establishing this church, this kingdom of God here on earth. Are we allowing our church to expand to an extent that it is able to guide the moral fiber of our society? Or are we just dwindling and dwindling? And usually when the church is falling apart, it is because of the members of that church. If your community is growing smaller and smaller, it is time to evaluate yourselves, you, the members that are in that community. What is it that we're not doing right that is chasing the people away? Where can we improve to make this, this community expand, grow and grow and grow? Sometimes, especially as Catholics, we are very comfortable with the numbers. Sometimes we go like, mpingo watu ni ukuru, let them go. God will give us others, or they will come back on their own. We are a big church. We have the numbers. But we should be concerned and worried if even just one member leaves. That should make us to sit down and evaluate ourselves. Why did that person leave? Did they leave because of something they didn't see correct in our community? What exactly? We should sit to evaluate ourselves. Because losing one soul is losing already too many souls. Just one soul.